Out here Sunday morning, day after, hitting the Museum of the Bible. Oh, y'all can see that now. Just stop moving. Slack it for that. Coming back here to put in that work, do a little bit of commentary. Shalom. Stay tuned.
So this is the Sunday after we tore down the steps of the White House, knocking on Trump's door. We headed to the Museum of the Bible with the brethren. You know what I'm saying? Waiting on the elder Zabak. He's on his way, and gonna give you a little tour and see what bones to spit out in there. You know what I'm saying? So tune in. Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwame Yasha'Allah, man. This is our history that they got trapped up in these buildings, man. So we are here to unlock the keys and open the doors.
Shalom, Israel. We out here in the Museum of the Bible. Okay? So we're gonna see what this is about. This is in DC. We're gonna see what's going on, the lies that they probably put in there to hide the truth and not tell the truth about who the real people are of the Bible. But anyway, we definitely gonna go in there and see what's going on. Okay? Unlock the mysteries, if there's any hidden mysteries that's going on. We know that this society was set up not to teach the whole truth of the Bible. We know that that's a fact, okay? So we want to see what we're gonna get. We don't expect much, but then again, we might get some good stuff. We gotta seek and search it out. A lot of times, what they do is they know that Jake don't come to these spots. Okay, and being that they know that our people, Israel, don't really come to these spots, as you see who's coming out, they know that they can put a lot of message in there. Because our people not gonna see it. You see what I'm saying? So, we're gonna go and we're gonna check it out. Stay tuned. If we get any hidden mysteries, we're gonna bring it out to you. All right?
And also, this is important because a lot of things they kept in the scriptures because through the delusion of Paul, these nations probably think a lot of the history that they keep away from us is for them. Through the illusion of inclusion and the strong delusions that the Most High put on these quote-unquote Christians, these Gentiles, these heathens. So we might just find some things in here, you know what I'm saying, knowing that they think us Negroes don't read, and also because they have the delusion of inclusion that the Apostle Paul put on them. There's probably some Jews in here. And also on top of that, at the top of this society is, you know, Amalek. And they go by the Talmud, not the Torah. Understand? And they believe in that Talmud, if they let a little bit of truth out, which they usually do subliminally, that they are not guilty of all the lies they told. So you might find some truth in here too. So we're gonna come up here, we're gonna chew the meat and spit out the bones, basically.
One more thing, we know that this society, the Bible and everything, how they try to promote the Bible is for white supremacy. So that's why you see a lot of Caucasians more than likely coming out of this. Because what it is they trying to uphold them and make them feel like they are the people of the Bible. You know what I mean? So that's why we going in there and we examining it and we gonna check it out. And like I say, just stay tuned, Israel, and see what jewels we can bring.
That's right.
Trying to figure out what that is, huh?
I don't know why that's just there like that.
Find the secret chamber.
Is a coin made? It all starts with the engraving of the dime. Everything that Leader wants his people to inscribe in their hearts and to remember is engraved.
Already. Go ahead. You said what now?
Yeah, we in the
what's the name of the museum?
The Museum of the Bible.
We're in the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. And we stumbled upon some ancient Paleo Hebrew. This inside the display. And, you know, we didn't put that there. What's that right there? That look like ancient Paleo Hebrew.
That says, yeah.
Shopper.
Yaham. Yaha. Quada. Shah.
Khan, the paleo. Or the paleo, they said that,
Yaha.
what he said, Yeshaya?
Yaqataz.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yaqataz.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what that is at the top. That's Ma. I don't know what the other one is.
Ma.
Kodash. That's what that says.
That's crazy.
Something's holy, right?
Someone told me to go straight to the back.
They said it means holiness.
I thought ancient Paleo Hebrew right there.
Don't that say Hakodash? I don't know why Ha in there though.
Bottom of that.
What's that on this?
Yeah.
What's it on? This?
It's supposed to be on some kind of. It look like a stone or something.
It's hard to get it though.
I get it, yeah, I see it. It's right there.
Where?
You see it?
It's on that part right there. You can't get it on the camera.
Yeah, it's even right here on the top. Like where they said it's at. Look right there. Oh, see it on the top. Can't get it.
So what you saying there?
It's too light. It's too light.
For those that saying that Ariel made up the paleo.
Right.
Yeah, for those that
See,
say
and I
that,
just
yeah.
read it before I even seen it up top. Hakodash. QDS. Holy, holy.
Some of the vowels.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but it remained the same.
Since they thought that Ariel made up the right here. Ain't this supposed to be a lily?
Come.
Everybody that hate the show to David, look like two pieces got cut
That's
off.
all.
But it's still a lily.
That's it.
This fragment of an offering in the ancient Hebrew bearing the inscription Lokos belongs to Kos, the Edomite god.
Take care of that.
Ritual offering vessels from the Edomite shrine at Kitmit. Look at that. That's where Kemet came from.
And not the Arabs. Not the Arabs.
Worship in the white man.
The white.
Supposed to be on here somewhere. It's too light for the camera to get.
You got that right there. Look, that was the Philistine and Edomite religion.
Check it out. The most important temple. Check that out. The Bible mentions the Philistine male god dragon of Ashtar, or Gaza, during the late Iron Age. The Philistine tradition with the local religion tradition is clearly noted. The kingdom of Edom was located in the southeast of Judah. The Edomites became particularly dominant during the 7th century BC. Evidence for the Edomites ritual has been revealed at the site. The rituals that the Edomite was doing, showing you that the Edomite did exist. All this that Kemet is talking about, saying that we don't have no history or ain't no biblical history. They don't want it to be. Why? Because they want to prove their theory. There's much history of archaeology, of biblical history. But they on the Kemet side, so they always going to try to diss now and say it's no history. It's all type of history of the Bible here.
Want to say something about that, Shah?
Shalom, we also over here in the Bible Museum, and this is an ancient relic that belonged to a Hebrew, right? And as you can see, the depiction of a lily again, just like on my chain. So you people that act like the Shield of David only comes about Molech, you gotta understand the history that our people did use this symbol as our culture. So you can see the Shield of David being represented on these things. You know, found something over there, but just in case, you know, anybody even try to shame you and talk about the Star of Molech, you gotta go to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 2, understand that stars are circled. We use these symbols as a culture, all right?
Okay, Vespasian, you know that 70 AD, Israel was chased out. Okay, destroyed out of Jerusalem, chased out, ran into the west coast of Africa. That's what the book Babylon 10 back 2 tells you. This is one of the generals that did it. This is the general, Vespasian. Okay, 70 AD. You also got Henrod the Great during the time of what, H.O.I. So all of this right here is showing you the biblical archaeology that these people was around. The people that's disputing the Lord's existence, these are the people that was around during our times. Henrod the Great, as they call. Okay? So all of this that we're showing you is showing you examples. When they say there's no archaeology about the Bible and the people that was in the Bible, there's a lot of archaeology to show you the people in the Bible. The brother's gonna take you now and show you the sword or the arrow.
Look at the different sizes here. These are different arrows, right? Now you look at the different sizes. These are slings. It shows you there's nothing new under the sun, because you look at the little arrowheads, these are like the deuce, the 2.5 bullets. See what I'm saying? Then you go down here, you look at these long, those are the AK bullets. Then you got the 4.5, tray 8. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. There's nothing new under the sun. Then you got the sling stones. David had a pocket full of those, a pouch full of those.
Them jaws were round too. Perfect.
Perfect. But that shows you there's nothing new under the sun.
Imagine moving on this.
That's crazy. Iron house key.
An iron house key. Nah, the type of door that must have opened was serious, huh? That's one of those grum. That's a house key. That's a
Shalom. Shalom.
I guess it's just us. Yeah.
Big shells, that's the 50 cal. The other side, they had the 2.2s, 380s, the 9s, 40 cals. This is the 50 cal. The Romans had them. You see Roman weapons?
Makes sense that the Romans
Iron Roman arrowheads.
So
And catapult bolts from the battle in the Jewish settlement in Gamla, 67 CE.
So what about
right
the
before 70?
what about the balls down there? What is called ballista balls? Now imagine getting stoned with them joints.
Yeah, that's the. I think those they let loose from the
When
cannons.
the cannons, when they lift up the
That's
big cannons.
67 AD, right? 67?
CE.
CE. CE or AD? Oh, CE. Oh, yes, AD.
Those are 50 cals, bro. That second one, those two top ones there.
Yeah, the two top ones
Bro.
right there. Serious. And these right here. Imagine get hit with one of those.
See, Esau, that's how you know. Esau, his sword was his blessing.
Yeah, this one was always his blessing.
Come on, bro. You look at our little stones, and then you see our little
You
arrows.
see our little stones and
That's the
arrows.
same
And
way
Esau
the
had the
artillery
big
is
stones
today.
and arrows.
And they was going against us. That's why I said Jewish. Wow, that was
going against us.
Yeah, they was fighting against us.
The zealots.
You seen these about?
But look, brothers. Look, y'all. We right here. Hey, yo.
Jewish coins.
Jewish coins with paleo on it.
With who on it?
Paleo Hebrew.
I was sitting, you know, I was kind of stuck on the fact they say Jew-ish. It's the
Roman
ish.
joints. Look at their catapult top. Down here, look. Those are boulders.
And you see that? That's exact.
This was on the Roman spears.
They arrows.
Yeah, he saws a man of war. Check out the coins.
Yeah, I'm checking out the coins right now.
Yeah.
That's where the 50 cows was. You saw how.
Yeah, that's paleo on them, right?
Paleo.
Yeah, that's paleo on them.
I love this. Yeah. How they just keep putting the ISH on everything.
Salakia, let me finish reading this.
Yeah, with the camera pick it up better than I could see with my eye. That's definitely paleo on them.
Right. Yeah, because they said we got with water.
Salakia, what you were saying, Sean?
I'm saying he picks it up paleo with the camera better than you can see it with your eye.
Oh, okay.
Like if you look at it from the screen,
Uh-huh.
if you look at it, if he goes back on it with the screen, you'll see it. He picks up that paleo.
Are those menorahs?
Yeah, those are
Hmm. They got menorahs in Paleo Hebrew. Good. Yeah, Josephus spoke about all this.
Origins of the Bible. See that? Question mark BC to 100 BC.
Question mark.
What type of script they got up there? Paleo. Ain't that something, man? That's a cold cut on. That's a cold cut on Paleo Hebrew being the first language right there too.
Cold cut. Cold cut, right?
Ariel made that.
That he did.
Say that again.
You find it all throughout history.
That they're looking as a box. What's that?
Images. Those are the slaves, ain't they?
They're gonna try to say that they Egyptian laborers. They're not Hebrew slaves.
They always do that in their architecture and their pictures. They make the slaves drawn smaller than the actual Egyptians who are the masters, just to show dominance in the picture.
Look at that paleo again. Proto-Canaanite.
That's supposed to be hieroglyphics.
Kind of early alphabet inscription at Wadi el-Hajj, Egypt. God.
The A, the Ba, the Ma, the Na, and the Ra.
God.
Go.
The Moabite stone. What you got on that Moabite stone?
We should get the writing over there too. Got it called the I can't get around that.
The nation still.
גדול אדוני ורב כוח לתבונתו אין מספר. מעודד ענבים אדוני, משפיל רשעים עדי ארץ. ענו לאדוני בתודה, זמרו לאלוהינו בכינור. המכסה שמיים באביב, המכין לארץ. ירננו על משכבותם.
King of Moab bragging on taking the children of Israel on the slave.
I thought the name was H.O.I.
Let me get that closer. And I mean, this in the Bible Museum.
The actual
Yahweh.
Biblically is in 2 Kings. They show you the verse right here. But you know they don't got the King James version, right? Still. I could put it out in the King James right now. Kind of first, kind of And this also goes to the gainsayers that want to go hump a pyramid in Egypt and collect dust in their shoes and think all because there is still pyramids left on Egypt, even though the Greeks, the Romans, and the French done stripped all the real riches from Egypt, robbed them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where your Ra was then. But even though they act like there's no evidence, like physical evidence of the Holy Scripture being actual history, right here is documented through archaeology all our captivities. You have the Assyrian captivity here, right? And the Assyrians took us captive. And it's also recorded in the book of Isaiah when it happened. And they have archaeology to back it up. It has the history written right there about King Hezekiah. This is actual history and archaeology to match. That's why you think they have a Bible museum, because everything is made up. We have the Babylonian captivity over here. These are wars we also fought against our enemies. And right now, spiritually, we are in the new Babylon, Babylon the Great, which is also spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. Like Revelation tells you, it's Babylon because we're going back into captivity with every other nation over us. You know, Babylon, the main thing about Babylon is all the nations got together and they created Babel and confusion. America is Babylon the Great, where they tell every other person from their nation to come here and cause confusion. You could go to New York City and hear every language around the world. That's Babel. And also this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Right? Sodom and Gomorrah, because you know all the gay rights they passed it. And that's why America's going to be judged. Matter of fact, let me bring this out to you right now. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 8. And it reads, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." You know, our Lord was crucified here because they perpetuate a false image of him. But there's certain things they just can't hide. Just like Israel goes into captivity when they don't follow the Most High, right? It's the same way that we're in captivity right now. And for all you Egyptologists out there that got that super biggity black spirit, understand that we have actual archaeology and history to match up that Israel did exist and it wasn't just made up. Kwame Ashala.
ישראל יכנס, הרופא לשבורי לב ומחבש לעצמותם, מונה מספר לכוכבים, לכולם שמו תקרא. גדול אדוני ורב כוח לתבונתו אין מספר. מעודד ענבים אדוני, משפיל רשעים עדי ארץ. אנו לאדוני בתודה, זמרו לאלוהינו בכינור, המכסה שמיים באביב.
And this also goes to the gainsayers that want to go hump a pyramid in Egypt and collect dust in their shoes and think all because there is still pyramids left on Egypt, even though the Greeks, the Romans, and the French done stripped all the real riches from Egypt, robbed them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where your Ra was then, but even though they act like there's no evidence, like physical evidence of the Holy Scripture being actual history, right here is documented through archaeology all our captivities. You have the Assyrian captivity here, right? And the Assyrians took us captive, and it's also recorded in the book of Isaiah when it happened. And they have archaeology to back it up. It has the history written right there about King Hezekiah. This is actual history and archaeology to match. That's why you think they have a Bible museum, because everything is made up. We have the Babylonian captivity over here.
כי רוצה אדוני בעמו, יפאר ענבים בישועה, יעזו חסידים בכבוד, ירננו רוממות אל בגרונם, וחרב בפיות בידם.
And right now, spiritually, we are in the new Babylon, Babylon the Great, which is also spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. Like Revelation tells you, it's Babylon because we're going back into captivity with every other nation over us. You know, Babylon, the main thing about Babylon is all the nations got together and they created Babel and confusion. America is Babylon the Great, where they tell every other person from their nation to come here and cause confusion. You could go to New York City and hear every language around the world. That's Babel. And also this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Right? Sodom and Gomorrah, because you know all the gay rights they passed it. And that's why America's going to be judged. Matter of fact, let me bring this out to you right now. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 8. And it reads, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." Now, our Lord was crucified here because they perpetuate a false image of him, but there's certain things they just can't hide. Just like Israel goes into captivity when they don't follow the Most High, right? It's the same way that we're in captivity right now. And for all you Egyptologists out there that got that super biggity black spirit, understand that we have actual archaeology and history to match up that Israel did exist and it wasn't just made up. Kwame Ashab.
מונה מספר לכוכבים, לכולם שמו תקרא. גדול אדוני, ורב כוח לתבונתו, אין מספר. מעודד ענבים אדוני, משפיל רשעים עדי ארץ. אנו לאדוני בתודה, זמרו לאלוהינו בכינור. המכסה שמיים באביב.
Are the ruins of an ancient house originally constructed in the 2nd century BC. This black basalt house has an early tradition as being the home of Peter from the gospel accounts. The house was converted to a simple church. Most scholars agree that this is one of the earliest Christian houses of worship yet discovered.
Temple.
Our next stop is Rome. Witness the next chapter in the story of Christianity.
This is when we fled from Roman persecution.
What better car to drive than a fly yellow Alfa Romeo? This car looks good even when it's leaking fuel on the side of the road. Never a good thing. Okay, so we lose a few cool points when the production crew has to push start. The story of Christianity spread throughout the Mediterranean region, despite severe persecution. Copies of the New Testament circulated among Christians throughout the Middle East and Southern Europe.
You talking about video?
Attacks against the Christian text peaked in AD 303 when Roman Emperor Diocletian ordered the destruction of all Christian Bibles. Emperor Constantine commissioned the production of 50 copies of the Christian Bible.
That's when the Romans took out treasures, huh?
The Roman Empire finally embraced the cultural influence of Christianity. During this same period, Jews also suffered
Rome sacked
persecution.
Jerusalem and took out gold.
Following years of tension, 3 major Jewish revolts broke out against Rome. The first saw the destruction of Jerusalem and the Holy Temple in AD 70. The Arch of Titus, here in Rome, gives a powerful testimony to the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70. The entire city, including the temple, were utterly destroyed by the Romans under Titus. This arch depicts the looting of the temple treasures. Later failed revolts further scattered the Jewish people in a diaspora stretching from Spain to India. At the same time, there developed a renewed emphasis on an inner spiritual life centered on the great collections of rabbinic teaching, Mishnah, Talmud, and Midrash that were brought to completion after the Christianization of the Roman Empire. This was an era in which synagogue worship replaced temple sacrifices.
Bro, you know the history. You just said the history.
Shalom, Israel. The brothers just was bringing it out. Here goes some book binding tools, and not binding as far as bound the book together. It's lock the book, right? Here go book binding tools right here, right? Here go the book binder. In medieval times, that means during the Dark Ages, during the Byzantine empires. When we was ruling during King James time. And that's actually the reason why King James was fighting so much and William Tyndale to get the Bible translated into English, because the rich and the wealthy was the only ones allowed to read the Bible and learn about the Most High or anything like that. So this is the reason, this is what they had going on with the Bible back during that time. That's crazy. Right here in the Bible Museum.
That's how you know the books that was written for certain people was for certain people.
Was for certain people.
Just like the Bible.
Con.
So that movie Enoch was about Denzel Washington.
Con.
With this book, I can control the world.
Con.
See what I'm saying? So they wouldn't let it get into certain hands.
Con.
And even in slavery, during the time of slavery, they didn't want us to read the Bible.
Con.
Why didn't they want us to read the Bible?
Right.
The true way, but we had to read the Bible under the slave master.
Right.
The slave master had to give us the instructions how to teach the Bible.
Right.
And that's the reason, because they know this Bible is true.
Right.
And then Nat Turner, brothers like Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, they turned it around. And they learned the truth. And when the movie was made, he went into Psalms 149. Because Nat Turner was able to find out, look, these are not the people of the book. They're using the book to control us.
Right.
But the truth is in the scriptures, man.
Right.
And it's going to come out in these last days. Whether
Right.
you believe it, accept it or not. Okay? That's why the scriptures tell you, though it be told to you, I should work a miracle which you should not believe, though it be told to you. But it's going to happen.
Ecclesiasticus, Sirach.
What is that?
That's Sirach.
Now, people like to
Ecclesiasticus.
discredit the Apocrypha. Discredit that.
And what year was that?
1478.
Check that out.
The Vulgate Bible.
1478.
So that's before 1611, isn't it?
Con.
Yep.
That means the Apocrypha always been there, huh?
Con.
Now, in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Apocrypha was also found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? Yeah.
That's heavy.
Ecclesiasticus, yeah, man.
Keep in touch. Okay. All right.
Tyndale,
All right, yeah, let me know.
father of the English Bible. This brother was trying to get the Bible translated before King James even did, and got killed, choked out at the stake for it, and was a black man, right? Woolly hair, knew we was the people of the Most High, right? He wrote many versions of it, trying to get it translated, black man in England. And the nobles killed him, had him killed. Tyndale's Book of Jonah. Tyndale's Book of Matthew.
Let me say something.
5 Book of Moses, the Torah. Go ahead.
This is William Tisdale. A lot of people mistake him for Shakespeare.
Con.
Okay, that's the misconception.
Con.
Shakespeare had a thing in the Bible. That was Shakespeare, it was William Tisdale. Okay, that was one of the guys that had something writing in the Bible as far as translating.
Con.
Okay, that's a big misconception that people make.
That's
They
correct.
always say William Shakespeare, that's not true. William Tisdale.
That's correct.
1494 to 1536.
Con. And was a so-called Negro.
Right, that deception has been big.
Con.
Okay?
Tyndale, the New Testament, Blackstone edition, New English New Testament, commentary on Matthew. Tyndale was doing his thing, man. Black man, so-called black man, Israel.
Oh, look at all those lily flowers. Oh, you could be talking about them. Wicked star.
Oh, you mean that one?
Verse 32.
Molech.
And before.
Most High's favorite flower, the lily.
It's all over the place. This is how Solomon had it on the pillars of his house, his temple, with the pomegranates, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, and it's something too, the gold.
Con.
And how much seeds do a pomegranate have?
613.
Okay. Change the laws, right?
Con.
I wonder if that's just a coincidence.
Right.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 14.
Look. Even in this right here, tell you the tetragrammaton right here at the top of it. Tetragrammaton in the name of God. In the Spirit.
Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
So what would be in this Bible? It said in the New Testament and the Old Testament.
Peter and Barnabas.
Dedicated to distributing Bibles to everyone.
Look, these are all different Bibles.
Over the next
Bibles.
this society
This is how many damn Bibles there is. You see, they got this there and the King James together.
That's right. You see what I'm saying? So that line, it all lines up. Here you got the Bible with the Apocrypha, the New Revised Standard. That's another cold cut.
So that Bible has been rewritten so many times.
Right.
And this is why they have so many different Bibles to try to cause some type of confusion. You just got to go to the ancient translations from the Hebrew,
right,
which would be these two.
Right.
The King James and the I gotta get me one of those. Living Bible. Yeah. I like the name of it, Living Bible.
Yeah.
Still like